That's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
Now here's Stuckey looking for his first basket still in this one. And here in the first quarter with a little over 3.5 minutes played. And Thomas, here we go. And finished up by Sullinger. Well, Clark, a clear line to the basket and in.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball. Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Maurice Scola, he's checked in for David West. Back to Hibbert. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. In the foul on Avery Bradley. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the official. It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
He's checked in for Roy Hibbert. Now, here's Hill. 5 points in the game. Scola, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. The pass to George. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. George has got his second bucket of the game to go. Celtics leading by 3. Bradley kicks to Thomas. Back to Bradley. This ball moved by Boston. That is good. 8 points for Kevin Garnett.
That's his 4th straight make right out the chute. That's the kind of start you want every game, but of course you rarely get it. I have no idea why he was fouling there. And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Coming up on the changes now for Indiana. Solomon Hill checked in for Paul George. C.J. Miles comes in for Rodney Stuckey. Alex Watson in for George Hill. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Celtics.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint potential. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early. They've done a really good job of getting their hands in the passing lanes, coming away with some steals on early going. Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. Get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane. Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Bird dishes to Thomas. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Checks in out for a 3-point play.
They worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter. Well, if they can match that effort at the defensive end, look out.
LeBoy Allen checked in for Indiana. We've got 1:23 left to play in the first quarter. So the Pacers call timeout. Their first of the game. They lost their last game on Tuesday.
And that result was no surprise, Clark, because they played very loose with the ball that night. Yeah, they were carefree. Footloose and fancy-free with the ball doesn't get it done. And how often do we see it, Steve? The team that loses the turnover battle loses the game.
Sullinger passes to Thomas. Finish off the break. Thomas got 7.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim. And they haven't been able to return the favor. And their offense in the paint has not been up to par. Well, he just didn't make the catch, didn't look the ball into his hands. He must have thought the ball was going somewhere else.
There's a minute left in the first quarter of the game. Bird kicks to Garnett. Fades. No good. And Indiana will come the other way. Feeds to Miles. And time goes. Jamming that one home.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan. It sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
And the shot is good. And that's now 6 points for Jared Sullinger. Jackson for 3. Rebound Boston. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. From 17 feet out, Bird can't hit.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Out of bounds, Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time. Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
19 seconds left here in the first quarter. Watson dishes to Hill. Passes to Allen. Kicks it to Watson. Arms length from the hoop. He knocks it down.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low. Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, just piling up points in the paint.
Here's Miles.
Knock it down! Right at the horn! Oh, what a three at the horn. They end the quarter on a high note.
And so the first quarter. And we're set to get started again for the next bit of action in this game 3. When you consider how the Celtics are doing, Steve and Clark, your thoughts?
It's pretty impressive the way they moved the ball, made the extra pass, found open shooters that whole quarter. Yeah, it's been a complete team effort out there. Great to watch.
Pacers trail by 9. On the court right now for the Pacers. Solomon Hill is out there with Stoke. Then there's C.J. Miles. Then it's Donald Strong. And it's Allen in at the center. And boy, that looked like hurts. And yes, it is. And so they get away with the basket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it different. They'll count the basket.
David West is checked in for Indiana. The Pacers shooting about 59% from the floor. Offensively, they've been running without a hitch. Hill kicks to Sloan. Indiana moving it around. There's passes to Sloan. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How about that going up the floor? I mean, he doesn't care how much time he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
The Pacers making a switch here. Hibbert's checked in. Thomas, good. Pacers trail by 11. Chipped away. And it's Bradley to drive. Makes it off the glass. Bradley's got 6.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. Almost 5 baskets in a row. And they've all been pretty late. Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Back to Bird. He feeds it to Thomas. Sullinger covered by Hibbert. They double team Bird. Pass to Bradley. Dishes to Garnett. Another shot. And Sloan with the rebound. Shot from 12. And the layup good by West.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Sullinger with the ball. Picked up by Hibbert.
How did he get that to go? Even after the whistle, I like the awareness, the alertness, and the presence of mind to finish the play.
Some changes for Indiana. Paul George comes in for Solomon Hill. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for C.J. Miles. And the Pacers call time here.
So they're getting way too many easy shots in the paint. So this timeout is specifically for that reason. You got to tighten up the defense and start to make it harder for that offensive team. I know it's easier said than done, but right now it just doesn't seem like the necessary effort is there. Let's get it going for your Celtics.
West with the drive. Garnett grabs the board.
Can't get a much better look than that, though. Sure can. Not one you expect him to miss there. He played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Pacers trail by 14. And the call will be against Kevin Garnett. That is his first foul of the game.
They tried to step in and cut him off, but he's just not quick enough. And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
And Indiana making a change here. Hill's checked in. Stuckey into the lane. Three-pointer. Hill, no good. Celtics leading by 14. Bradley kicks to Garnett. Big pass is good. Just the right step. Burnet's got 12.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane. Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Cut the bucket.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that.
For Boston, they've gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. With no time at all on that one. And that's 13 points for Jared Sullinger. The drive by Hill. West outside. George. And he sends it down right on top of Jared Sullinger.
Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best chance to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, now is when they need a little spark anyway.
Pacers trail by 16 on the wing hill. Poke loose and stolen by Thomas. Bird kicks to Bradley. Paul George with the steal. And here they go. And then Hibbert with the dunk.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop by number 24.
Thomas goes in. Outside Brent. Pass to Bird. He kicks to Sullinger. Good. And it's Bird picking up the assist. Bird's got 4 assists in the game.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first. And that was pretty good.
Loose. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Here's Stuckey. Ball's not loose. Into Sullinger. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Sullinger's got 11 points in the quarter.
Look at the points in the paint, the inside game. It's very one-sided here for a while now. Well, the defense just hasn't been physical enough at the rim. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have come from the paint. Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. His teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
Thomas pushes to Garnett. And it's Boston with another.
Smart move with that mismatch he's got. You know what? That extra advantage sure pays off on the mid-range jumper.
Stuckey into the lane. Nice passes to Stuckey. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
Mahaney's checked in for David West. Celtics leading by 18. Bradley kicks to Sullinger. And another basket for Boston.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
Timeout call for Pacers. You look at Jared Sullinger. What a contribution.
We need to make some adjustments because he's absolutely scorching.
Pacers trail by 20. Hill kicks to Stuckey. Hibbert in the high post. Kevin Garnett with the steal. And a fast break now for the Celtics. It's stolen by Hill. He dishes it to Hibbert. It's back to Hill. It's stolen by Simon. Pushing it up. Thomas. This ball moving by Boston. And the basket good. 10 points for Mr. Clutch.
Good defense. They love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
And George, here we go. Here's Hibbert. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle. And one other thing about him that you shouldn't fail to appreciate is the presence and impact he has defensively. He can lock you up and wear you down, and that effect rips the ball out. Man, that was unreal. Hark it up. Up and away. He was in the clouds on that one, folks.
Elevation, gentlemen. That's what we just witnessed.
Man, can he get up there or what?
Here's Stuckey. Jane shot. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
I know they did a better job of getting him inside in the first. I mean, they were conscious of throwing that ball in the paint and attacking the rim.
For Indiana, they have converted 1 or 2 free throws so far today. Bird, defended by George. Sullinger hits the bucket.
Great ball movement. They're just picking this defense apart when they're passing. Well, how about the 3 P's, Steve? Purposeful, precise, passing. We this team because they're taking advantage of it.
It's stolen by Bradley. It's the lead pass. Thomas. And he pulls in the way up off the glass. Thomas got 11.
Well done finishing that one off.
On deep. And the release was before the buzzer. And it's off target. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Boston on top, up 19. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
Now, presented by Sprint. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back as we get set to continue our coverage of this round one playoff matchup. It's been a clinic out there by Jared Sullinger.
It'll be important to see if they can slow him down in the second half here, because so far they have had no answer for him down on the block.
Well, you got to mix up the looks you give him. Bump him out some, fronting, play behind, double teaming. But right now, he looks unstoppable in the paint.
Well, we've got a moment left up the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade All Field Up for the second half. On the floor for Boston. They've got third. Jared Sullinger is out there with Garnett. Then there's Avery Grant. And it's Thomas in at the point guard position. And it is just the Thomas. Into Sullinger. That's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. 23 points for Jared Sullinger.
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
It's stolen by Bradley. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Sullinger. That's good.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
Pacers shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. The drive by Hill, and the shot is good.
He is feeling it. A terrific percentage from the field.
Boston leading by 22. Dish now to Sullinger. Pulls it from the elbow. It's before the rim and out.
Well, I think he kind of alligator arm that short stroke. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Love the interior passing. He knew exactly where to go with that ball.
Boston again missing. Pacers trail by 20. Here's George. Lays it up and puts it in. George has got 10 points in the game.
And their offense is flowing. It's clicking right now at the beginning of the second half. They've made 3 of their first 4 attempts.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
While they were getting run ragged out there, good time for a timeout. Maybe it was even too late, but this club has to regroup now.
Well, I tell you what, it wasn't pretty, and they definitely needed to take a minute to talk things over.
Sullinger with the bucket.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing in this court, at least at the offensive end.
Pacers trail by 20. Stuckey kicks to George. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. Stuckey's got his 7th assist here tonight. The feed to Bird. In low to Garnett. And he brings it home with one hand.
He's been key for this team's offense, though, as he's distributed the ball.
But, you know, the offense is just moving through him, Steve. No doubt.
George against Bird. And George kicks to Hill. West, right side. Wide open look. And yes, sir, that one drops. West has got 6.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push your offensively.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
He fires inside. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Police score. He's checked in for Indiana. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Thomas passes to Brent. Barnett. Right through the knee for the layup. Barnett's got 4 points this quarter.
Nicely done. They just continue to dominate inside. That's 10 points in a row in the lane.
It's now purely, here it comes. See if you can stop it.
And the shot is good from Stuckey. Celtics leading by 19. Thomas dishes to Garnett. Lets it go from 11, and that one goes long. The Pacers have gotten 6 of their 7 shots to go down in this quarter. What a fantastic start to the half. And it's Hill penetrating. Okinskola. Rebound Boston. Garnett's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And the basket is good. The call goes his way, and he could be looking at a 3-point play. The Pacers making a switch here. Hibbert's checked in.
Well, you take one look at Jared Sullinger, the first thing you see is that lower body strength. He's just rock solid. You can't push him out of the paint, so you've got to try to keep him away from the ball before the ball comes to him. Try to beat him to position, because otherwise he'll just root you out of it.
Yeah, he will give you the lower body root canal, no question about that. He knows how to use that ample backside of his to get defenders off of him and to find ways to get his shot up and over all the defenders.
And George, here we go. Hibbert. Oh, nice feed that time from George. 19 points for Roy Hibbert.
He really made that mismatch pay off. The defender giving up that much size isn't going to be able to put up much resistance near the basket.
Bradley, and the 3-ball is good. And the Celtics lead by 21.
They're not showing too much respect for him defensively, are they?
Hibbert gets to George. Now the pass to Stuckey. Some nice passing here by Indiana. For 3. Second shot. Again. Hibbert's got 8 points here in this quarter.
He is remarkably hot this quarter. He has yet to miss a shot.
Feeds it to Burke. Back in off the boards.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Hill passes to George. It's back to Hill. Again, missing Hill. Celtics leading by 21. Here's Thomas. They get it again. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. Some changes for Indiana. LaVoy Allen's checked in for Stoller. C.J. Miles comes in for Rodney Stuckey. It's Watson in for George Hill. Here's Miles. Held in with the triple. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
Excellent display of team play.
Steve, I know you love great teamwork.
Yeah, so much fun to watch when the ball is moving. There's kind of a rhythm to the game. It just happens. The ball moves almost on its own. Yeah, but it's fun to watch. Boy, that was impressive, Park. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
David West, he's checked in for the Pacers. Hill comes in for George. 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Here is Thomas. He's got 11. Sullinger dishes to Bradley. Takes the 13-footer, and he hits the jump shot. Bradley's got 5 points in the quarter. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. It's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Well, that's his 4th turnover. And he's going to find himself on the bench if this keeps up.
Paul George is checked in for C.J. Miles. Here's Sullinger. It's in there. Thomas with the assist. Sullinger's got 38 points.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. Pacers shooting so well, 63%. The offense working as one cohesive unit. Sullinger against West. Passes it to George. Puts it up. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Here's Bradley. No good on that last second attempt there. The 3 quarters of play all on the books. And this one all but over already. It's the Celtics running away with it. And we're coming right back after this break to get... Yes, sir. And we welcome you back to our coverage of Round 1 in the NBA playoffs. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Celtics.
Boy, they're hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end. Very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
On the court for Indiana. Down low, West to Hibbert. there with Rodney Stuckey. And it's George in at the 3. Hill gets to George. It's back to Hill. 5 on the clock. Poked away. And Bird, here we go. And that one's good.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of the last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Selleck shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. Count that one. Sellinger's got 42 in the game.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They sure are. That's 3 straight buckets that have come off of the 6th.
Bird, the pass to Thomas. All alone. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. And Bird finishes inside.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Bradley can't get it to go. Down low. And Rodney Stuckey the bucket on the assist by Hill. And that's now 6 points for Rodney Stuckey. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. They get a hand on it. Thomas with the ball.
That's flat out embarrassing.
Hill kicks to Stolen. Stolen by Bird. Adley with room to shoot. Great play by Bird to set it up. Bird's got 9 assists now tonight.
Wow, where would they be without all these easy points up turnovers?
Well, it certainly has made things a lot easier for them on offense, that's for sure, Steve. You turn a team over, you usually don't have to worry about set defense.
And that one's good. And that's 15 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Another bucket off the turnover. They actually are really beating themselves out there.
Yeah, they're making things difficult on themselves with all the mistakes they're making. Too many turnovers.
Strong hit with the block. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Adley's got the ball. Here's Sloan. Back to Allen. He passes to Hill. Indiana moving the ball over. Knocks it loose. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Allen is 3 on Sullinger. 6 to shoot. Hill fires with nobody on him. He carries the jumper. Boston's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Thomas goes in, and the officials listed a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. They'll go to the line.
They've been getting way too many high percentage looks close to the basket. And tell you what, when they're getting them, they're converting.
You know, the play in the paint, an aspect of this game that has gone entirely their way.
Gets to Miles. From the arc. Shot's good.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap up since the start of the second half. They're starting to find the range.
Steve, the lasers are starting to do their thing. That's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Thomas dishes to Sullinger. That one falls. Fell off of Thomas's feet. Sullinger's got 44.
He's performing at such a high level. That's why they're in the lead right now.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Big blunder there, and that could cost them.
Major blunder, and you're right, a terrible time for that to happen when they're trying to chip away at this deficit.
Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Sullinger's got 46 points.
Guys, it's a one-man show out there. I mean, he looks like he's willing to handle all of the offensive duties for his team.
He feeds it to Allen. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Thomas. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Finish off the break.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfect.
It's off his rope. And it's being called a kickball. Miami's check in for the Pacers. The Pacers have gone 5 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Strong pass it to Hill. Dishes it to Sloan. It's back to Hill. Rebounded by the Celtics. Sellinger's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Bird kicks to Garnett. Just a finish in trouble. Garnett's got 20 points.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guy.
And he gets it to go.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the board.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Hill dishes to Mahinmi. Good. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. Bradley kicks to Garnett. Lays it in without a bunch of room around him.
Well, that's a wrap, fellas. There's no way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Kevin Garnett with the steal. And up the court from the Celtics on the break. And it's Bird with the jam.
Boy, their defense making an impact here late, Kevin.
And straight off the steal front, the perfectly run fast break ends in a slam dunk.
That could be a huge 4-point swing in this game.
The Pacers have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. Sloan passes to Miles. And Sloan kicks to Miles. No one covers.
Yeah, something that makes him hard to defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it.
Interesting. They're like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got energy.
You know, it's not going to change anything, though, other than to make their losing margin a little more respectable.
Bradley kicks to Bird. And Williams get off the break.
Serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
Outside for Miles. It's stolen by Bradley. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Thomas, good.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. Really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the business from getting any momentum going at all.
Thomas with the steal. Bird. That one falls. Cut off at Thomas's feet.
And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense.
It's tipped. Here's Bird. It's off. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. How much to be critical of it this week, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Well, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching our coverage of the first round of the NBA playoffs. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Burr, and Dorsberg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Holland saying so long. We leave you now with our Jordan player of the game.
I've been rapping for about 17 years, okay? I don't write my stuff anymore. I just kick it from my head. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. No disrespect, but that's how I am.